I'm Dave Green, just hanging out in virtual reality. I'd like to apologise for we missed the show last week because I was not well. You can probably still hear that frog in my throat. But I've just been hanging out in virtual reality. And I think we started off last week's show looking at heaven and hell, didn't we, Colin?
Yeah, that was it.
And you suggested we have a look at purgatory.
Purgatory.
Obviously, these are not the real places. This is just us saying words and then
That's
taking us to somewhere weird. But let's give it a go. Let's go to... am I saying it right? Purgatory.
Purgatory, yeah. Although we are looking at the Earth from space behind you, where you need to change your background.
Oh, really? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's just go on the virtual reality. There we go.
Lots of people
and you can see what I'm doing. Right, so... Hang on.
Okay,
let's do the voice activation. Purgatory. Oh, rotary. So what is...
Oh, look at those. Look at those. That road.
Oh, this looks nice. Cookie advantage. So what is the idea of purgatory? Is that where people go... It's like when you're a ghost, right?
Yeah, I think when you're not quite good enough to get into heaven or evil enough to get into hell. It's like a waiting room.
Like a waiting room.
It's kind of like the movie Beetlejuice. I imagine it's like a lot of that.
And this is what purgatory looks like. Stop.
Which does look kind of in between heaven and hell that we saw last time.
And they have get faster internet for faster Wi-Fi. Nice. All right. Well, that's purgatory. Should we start the show?
Yes. Let's get out of purgatory.
Thank you, Colin. Let's get out of purgatory.
It feels like we've held everybody in purgatory for a few moments there.
That was tense. All right, cool. So our guest today is Joe Bohr, stand-up comedian, actor, writer, and he's on tour at the moment with his show Room with a Jew. And I'll put a link down to his website down below, www.joebohr.co.uk. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Coming in, Joe.
Thanks very much, man.
There he is. Joe Bohr. Joe Bohr.
Amazing. I'm the first to do that.
That was bound to happen eventually. Hang on. Wait. You take a seat.
It's amazing.
It looks... it's
so professional.
The green screen still looked fine on the feed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think anyone watching it...
No one noticed.
Could they see behind the curtain?
Basically the whole screen just fell down. The type of slick production values that we have here on Dave Green Street We Show. Cool. How's it going, Joe?
It's good. Yeah.
Thanks for coming round, man.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
So let's have a look where you grew up, which is here, Hartham Road, right?
Hartham Road. Well, Hartham Close.
Hartham Close. Oh yeah, we couldn't get down there.
We can't get down there.
So whereabouts? This is in London, right?
London, Holloway, in between the two prisons, which is the worst way of describing it, but that's geographically the best way of describing it. Yeah.
Holloway Prison, very infamous.
Holloway Prison's over that side, and then the other side is Pentonville.
Yeah.
It's a strange area. It's like you know there are rough bits and there are very posh bits, as you see that house. I used to pretend when I used to get dropped off to go down the close, I used to get dropped off there and pretend that was my house.
Oh, really?
To my rough football team.
So what the house is like down there, we can't really see.
They're nice. It's nice. They're close.
Yeah.
I mean, they were very, very, very cheap when my mum bought it in 1979. They were. I mean, I'm already talking about what houses are worth, but I think she bought it for like £20,000.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Really annoying. Yeah, because I'm not going to say what it's worth now, but a lot more. But it was handy. Caledonian Road Tube was nearby. That was the closest tube, and the Pleasance in London was opposite.
Yeah,
it was quite nice having that there.
So where shall I go? We can click to your school from here, right?
Yeah, you can go to the school.
Is it this way?
Yeah. This was my walk to school.
What's it like looking at this now? Does it bring back some memories of that?
It's weird.
You
know what? I'll tell you something weird. This is really weird. I bumped into a friend of mine. Sort of like a friend of my mum's son's, and I said to him, "Oh, where are you living at the moment?" He said, "Where you grew up." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Hartham Road." And he said, be more specific. I said, Hartham Close. He went, be more specific. I was like, number 5, Hartham Close. And he was like, yeah, that is exactly where I live.
Really?
He bought my childhood home.
Yeah.
And I actually went back to visit at Christmas Eve, and it was weird. It's
That
so
is
weird.
really bizarre.
Because they'd gutted it. And
It'd be weird if they just
modernised
kept it exactly the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, photos
So
of
all your
me.
stuff in your bedroom.
Yeah, and it was so weird. Again, you want to go left.
Down there,
So this was, a few friends lived around here. My longest friend, not oldest, the friend,
It's really tall.
very long. A person I've known for the longest time, Ellie, lived just on the corner. So you want to go right.
Down here, yeah.
And Julian Clary used to live there.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's a very Julian Clary. That's exactly how I imagine his house to look.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to say all of this. Is this allowed to people?
You're allowed to say that.
Okay. So this was a walk I would go... I'd be quite scared walking to school. Like, constantly. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat anyway, but I'd have to walk past Holloway School, which was, like, notoriously quite rough.
Yeah.
And my brother...
Down here?
Yeah. I would avoid it, normally. But my brother was like, right, I'm going to... He'd 2 years younger than me and was just like, I'll walk past it, I'm fine. And then I think we've both been mugged a few times around Holloway School.
Did they give you problems because they knew you went to a different school?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have uniform, but they knew because we were sort of playing clothed.
Undercover. It's more suspicious, yeah. I thought you were...
Undercover. It's now really, it's all done up, Holloway School. I don't know if this is modernised Holloway.
Is that the school, is it?
Yeah, that's Holloway School.
So that was quite rough.
Yeah, but it's not. It's mid sort of. I think it's all done up now, and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, I was scared of the kids who went there. I didn't get properly mugged. I'd get sort of pushed around.
Well, when you're that age, you only ever have like 50p for sweets anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How bad's it going to get?
Yeah, exactly. My mum was used to give me a bit too much for lunch. She didn't quite understand. I ended up being a fat kid. And I just used to give money to people in my school who used to ask for money. People used to ask for money, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
There's this one kid who just used to ask for £1 every day, and I'd just give him £1. I used to...
In your head, it wasn't like you were being mugged, it was just...
yeah. Just helping.
Yeah.
It's just charity. So this is Brecknock Road. Yeah, I've got a few friends.
Don't know.
A lot of my friends still live here.
Yeah.
They think... I mean, I've moved... to Cockfosters, and they see that as like, that's it, Joe's gone. He's gone to the countryside, that's it. And they still all live around here. So this is the walk along Brecknock Road to the school. It's just such a mixed area. You get, I mean, some of these houses obviously are worth millions now, but very mixed, like middle class, working class. And it was a very mixed school. Very, like, posh, but also quite fighty as well. We had a policeman in our school.
Oh, really?
There'd be a policeman who just, who had to be there the whole time.
So what were you like as a kid?
I managed to sort of straddle two sets of identities. Like I was the posh one, but also I was captain of the football team, so I managed to not get beaten up too much because of that. So I did well in school. I'd get all A's, but I could also play football, so I managed to.
Yeah.
And I could sort of I put on the voice when sort of playing football, and then when the teacher was there, I'd sort of managed to adapt.
Could this be the genesis of Jasper, your character?
My character, yeah, absolutely, probably. Yeah, I had a girlfriend who worked at Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eight, yeah.
They
do comedy shows, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. And the Boston, which is infamously quite rough. And my wife met my friends in the Boston. First time she met my friends. And one of my friends, I'll say his name, Joe, he was sitting down reading Shakespeare in the Boston. I don't know if anyone's aware of the Boston. It is utterly ridiculous because it's like the roughest pub. I remember a big fight when there was an Arsenal-Tottenham game there. And someone just came in and went, come on, Tottenham. And someone else went, this is an Arsenal pub. And then it all kicked off. And they used to have fighting, I think, in the back. I shouldn't be saying all this. there used to be some. No, I
Well,
can't
like an
say.
illegal.
All sorts of illegal stuff. Was going on.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm sure it doesn't anymore. Spaghetti House, is that still there? Yeah, that's where we used to go for lunch. £1. This shows how old I am. £1 for for spaghetti, and we used to take that spaghetti and we used to go play football. And always, at least one person would have the football hit against the spaghetti, and they'd lose. That was it. That was the
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah. Yeah,
Or-
that sounds like some reckless spaghetti eating. Well,
Yeah.
you're playing with holding it.
Yeah, but you'd have it in a plastic container, which was always a risk. or you'd get a roll for £1, and that used to be the Enzo. I think it was Enzo who worked there. Yeah, he was like notorious. Everyone knew he was. Yeah, it's all gone a bit posh. I think there's a Costa. Yeah, there's a Costa now, and it's sort of lost a bit of identity. It's all gone very, very middle class around there. Yeah, if you could have a little. The school was
Around there,
yeah. I got invited back to the school to do a little talk on it to inspire the kids.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, really? How did that go?
I haven't been asked back. I thought, I've got to do some jokes. That was a mistake. The headmistress came on after. Thank you, Joe. Like you've been told. Sort of saying thank you as if to go, yeah, but you're never coming back.
What did you say? What advice did you give them?
I remember the best advice. I sort of reiterated the advice I'd been given. Well, I made some probably inappropriate jokes, and then I did end on saying something that it's always stuck with me. My head of year, Mr. Henley, who's amazing, such a nice guy, and he said the important thing in life is just to be nice, and that sort of really stuck with me. And I sort of tried to reiterate that, but also made some just stupid jokes because I felt like that's what I had to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Fortis
And
Road.
is that your philosophy of life? Be nice.
Yeah, I mean, we can't always do it, but I think, yeah, I really liked that message to kids as well. Like that's kind of what you need to be told, I think, when you're a kid, because no one really tells you that.
It's quite broad though. Be nice. So it's almost like because then to me it's like, what does that mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit
Straight away I'm like, well, what does that mean to be nice?
Yeah.
Just because I'm so mean, I can't even comprehend.
This is
being nice.
Fortis Road. So I would go to my mate's house, Steve. We'd go there every lunchtime, and I would. This makes me sound a bit weird. We watched the Box. You know what Box, the music channel?
Oh yeah.
And we'd work out. As a teenager, I was like, me and him would like work out all the time. Weirdly,
Really? You said you were a chubby kid, and then
I was chubby, and then I had to do something about it, and
Yeah,
then so we'd like see. He was really serious. He's like a serious personal trainer now. He started a personal training business, so he's really into it. And yeah, we'd just work out in his mum's flat, which was just up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is Kentish Town. It's all gone posh now, Kentish Town. But yeah, Kentish Town used to be like really, really rough, like scary rough. Some of the side streets.
So would this be a place that you used to avoid?
Yeah, but my mate was there, so I'd sort of reluctantly be there.
Yeah.
I used to sort of hang out. It's weird because I got quite a posh family, but my mum sort of went to boarding school, and I was the first in the family to go to state school. So it's just it was a bit of a culture shock for me.
Because like you said before, in London, I think lots of people who grow up in London have that kind of mixture of different people from different backgrounds, and
I'd
so
go
you can just pick and choose the best of the best bits. Right?
So I'd sort of go visit my gran at the weekend and be like, "Oh, hello, Granny. Yeah, I've been to lots of art exhibitions. And it's fabulous." And then I'd go to school and be like, "Oh, the football was great, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
So I think you'd have to naturally have a flexible identity.
In all seriousness, do you think that is slightly the genesis of the Jasper character?
Yeah, probably.
Explain to people who don't know, you do stand up as yourself, and then you have a character, don't you?
Yeah, I've got this sort of posh explorer
Yeah,
character who's a posh idiot, and I've been surrounded by those sort of people.
So is it based on someone?
No. I kind of can do the accent quite easily, and it was a spoof of a. Oh, we're going to Camden. It was a spoof of Touching the Void initially, and then I realised just because I know that character so well, those sort of
Touching the Void, is that film where the guy fell down the...
Yeah, I went to see Touching the Void with my friend Alex, and it's a documentary. It's a mockument. No, it's a documentary about
The guy had to chop his arm off, right?
No,
Is
it's
that
not
what
that.
it
That's
was?
197 hours. 127 hours. This was similar. Two guys went climbing. One of them sort of cut the rope because they were attached, and one of them fell, and he had to cut the rope. And it was really dramatic. And after it, my mate just went, I just didn't really care what happened to them. They're just posh idiots who went climbing. And I thought, we could spoof it, and I spoofed it in a sketch with Luke Tolson. We made a little sketch, and then we agreed to do it as an Edinburgh show, and then it just sort of, and I started gigging as a character. And It just sort of evolved, and then I realised I knew a lot of people like this, and it's just kind of evolved. So we're going.
I don't know where we are now.
We're going
Should we
Camden.
go to the next stop?
Yeah. Okay. University.
Which is...
Yeah.
All right, so you're at university now. So what did you do? This is Bournemouth, right?
Bournemouth, Hankinson Road. Yeah, when I was 19, so I did a foundation course in art and graphic design, and on that course you kind of do a bit of everything, don't you? When you do your foundation course, and I really loved film and animation, and and then I went to was it 21 Hankinson Road? Went to Bournemouth to study initially graphic design, and then realised I really just wanted to get on the film course.
Yeah.
And then I moved to being an art director on the film course. It's one of the most popular film courses in the country. I don't know how I got there, but and then I did animation, specified in animation.
Yeah,
because I really just wanted to be a director, and I could draw a bit. And are we going to the? Oh, you want to go right? We'll go to the right.
This way. We just came down there, right? No?
Oh, did we come down that way? Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to go back? Yeah, sorry.
So down there.
We'll go to university.
And then which way?
Right. Yeah. So
no,
right. Yeah.
Cool.
I think Wycliffe Road. Yeah. So then, and I met my first proper girlfriend there, and we went out for about 7 years, I think. She lived opposite. So I did animation and made this animation that went to a load of film festivals, and then that's when I discovered comedy. I went to Edinburgh Film Festival and started just seeing some comedy up there.
Yeah.
So this is you want to go left? This is the main road. It's just charity shops. There's a lot of charity shops. There you go, Bernardo's, all of them. You want to go? I don't know. You can go right.
Down here.
Yeah. So I would walk up this way. My ex-girlfriend sort of lived around here, and then my little brother went and did the same course, weirdly, and he lived up here, and he's like 11 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So he went off to Bournemouth to study in the same course, which is weird.
So were you fairly like studious student, or were you like party animal?
You couldn't when you do animation. It's just this is why I don't do animation now. I literally worked from 9 till 9.
Yeah, because it's so time consuming, right?
Yeah, and it's drawn, so you draw every cell.
Yeah.
And then I did this animation where
It's not the type of shit you can
layers.
brush. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of animation, no matter what it is, people's response is always like, "Wow, that must have taken ages."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's almost like the work that's gone into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I did my final animation. I think it lasted like 2.5 minutes, and it took me like a year to make.
Yeah.
And it's nice, and it did well, but that's why I really wanted to do something like film and comedy, just because it's
stand-up's
It's
like
immediate.
stand-up's like the quickest one. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into doing stand-up?
So my film went to Edinburgh, and then saw some stuff in Edinburgh, and then loved it, and then my film was
Down here?
Yeah, it was animation, but it was a funny animation. I remember seeing it in Edinburgh Festival, Edinburgh Film Festival, and the audience were laughing. I thought, I can write funny. I can get a reaction out of an audience like that. And I thought, maybe let's see if I can write funny and do it in stand up. And I just got hooked. Yeah. So yeah, this is coming up to the university. It's weird, Bournemouth. Is it? I love it, but
Which way should we go?
Down?
Down?
You want
Keep going round.
Yeah, keep going around and then down there.
Down here, yeah?
Yeah, it's a lovely place in the summer, but I was never there in the summer. You're just there when it's crap weather. You want to be there when we weren't there, really. And it's just stag do's at the weekends. But there'd be, I remember you just used to, the first year we just used to party all the time.
Which way am I going? Down?
Yeah. So just keep going down, and then you want to go left. And then I've been invited back, actually. I did some talks at the university, and I've got some mates who've gone back to
Another
work.
like ex-alumni thing.
What?
When you tell them, just be nice, guys.
yeah. Just be nice. Thanks very much. I'll see you now. Yeah, teaching them some drawing.
You still do that now, right? Your cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, I like to. It's weird. I've started doing some Instagram stuff, and that's got me back into drawing again.
Yeah. I saw you did that show when you're doing someone's character and then interviewing them as well, right?
Yeah. I did a bit of that. Yeah, I didn't realise that I'd done quite well. I sort of did it, and I thought, has it got many views? And then I realised some people had liked it.
Where am I going, down here?
I think we've gone past it now.
Have we? All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's on the other side of the roundabout. Yeah, it's there where that bus is. Yeah, that's the university.
Oh, yeah, that's where you go, yeah.
It was opposite. I went to the Arts Institute. There's a bit of a rivalry between the Arts Institute and the university. The university have a very good animation course, but the film school at Bournemouth is probably one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
And obviously you're still doing that as well, aren't you now, like directing videos and stuff? And
Yeah.
sketches.
Yeah. You've got to create content, haven't you? Hence
Man.
this.
Hence this, pulling the screen down.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I have a feeling that's going to be the on the highlight reel. What's happening? Let's look at the clouds, actually.
Okay.
So we do this little game where, so let's have a little look at this. So remember, here's where the music, Colin. So remember, if you cast your mind back to when you were a child and you looked at the clouds to see if you see any pictures in there. And this is also your chance to play along at home. So take a look at the clouds, comment in, let your imagination go wild, see, and tell us what you see in this cloud here, and then Colin will select a winner of his favourite answer. But what do you see? What do you see, Joe Ball? What's happening in that cloud?
Right, maybe this is just in my head. I had a really rough gig the other day, and I see a shark.
A shark, really?
Yeah, I
where
see
you
a
seeing
shark. I mean, there's the eye there, and then the mouth there as it's coming out of the water.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah. So that's his eye.
I don't know if that's where I am mentally.
Yeah, why are you thinking about sharks, man?
I can't talk too much about the gig I did the other day, but yeah.
Was it in the ocean?
I felt like I was being attacked by a big creature, big powerful creature. I don't know.
What about this one?
What is that? I don't. What is that monkey? It's sort of a bit like a monkey. There with the mouth and the legs, possibly. I don't know. Some sort of monkey with a backpack.
Actually. Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Monkey with a backpack.
I see what you're saying. That's his legs. Crouching down.
I like the music.
Monkey with a backpack.
This feels like
it's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
It feels like alternative therapy.
Yeah, this is our...
Has anyone cried
we'll
on this
compile
show?
The answers and send it to an email with your full personality breakdown.
Oh, God.
Why you're seeing
This is
sharks.
so revealing.
What about this motherfucker? What do you see there?
Piece of pizza. I don't know.
You're just hungry now.
Oh, what is this saying about me? I feel under attack and I feel
Don't second
hungry.
guess it.
Okay. Yeah, I want pizza.
Bit of pizza.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of pizza, mate. All right. Cut the music. That's our cloud interlude, which takes us on to this place, Lancaster Road. What's happening here, Joe? What's this?
Yeah, so when I was 7, my parents got divorced and my dad left and he moved to Finsbury Park to like a one-bed, I think it was one bed, ground floor flat, 61 Lancaster Road. And yeah, it's weird. I mean, I was there like once or twice a week. And it wasn't that far.
Was that hard on you, your parents' divorce?
Are you trying to get me to cry, mate? 'Cause it's- oh God! Do you know what I see in those clouds? Tears. It was. Yeah. It was. It's just awkward going from one house to the next, and I'm sure they handled it well. I don't know. I remember. All I remember here is there was a corner shop. I used to tell my dad. This is probably why I was a fat kid. I used to tell my dad that my mum never gave me sweets.
Yeah.
So he'd give me sweets, and then I'd tell my mum, Dad doesn't give me sweets. So I'd get sweets from both parents. So inevitably, I got quite fat around that time. I realised I could play them off against each other.
Yeah.
So there are benefits to it. It can be nice. You like, I've got a stepmom and I've got step brothers. So that,
How are they? Do you get on with them?
yeah, I do. They're quite similar. One of them did the same course I did. So he was only here for about a couple of years. So it was kind of a transition period, and it was relatively rough actually this time. Finsbury Park it has got gentrified like a lot of London.
Yeah.
It's got a lot nicer. He had a mini metro that just wouldn't start, so we all had to help push it. And it was the first time he'd been on his own, I think. So I just sort of remember we'd get, he'd cook, and it was very different. I think food's a big thing, and suddenly the food I was getting from my dad was very different to the food I was getting from my mum, and he was obviously not as good at cooking.
Was it like pizza?
Just sort of like a baked potato, I think. That's what I remember.
Yeah. But yet you saw a pizza in the clouds. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You sure it wasn't pizza?
Yeah, it probably was pizza. So he there's a lovely line in Russell Brand does a bit about when he moved out and he had to spend time with his dad, and now he sort of quite realised that his dad didn't know what he was doing. I think I really resonated with that. Not meaning to be horrible, my dad, but it was probably very tough for him.
Like lots of the domestic stuff that he wasn't.
No, not really.
Himself, yeah.
This is the high street, I think. But I never really saw any of this area. I was sort of 7 or 8 years old, and then he moved in with my stepmom. This is towards the Arsenal. I was big into football when I was younger.
That was a big thing for you,
Yeah, they'd take me, I think, because my mum, just to have a break from me, she'd take me to the Arsenal soccer school. So I spent a lot of time there on sort of Saturday mornings and all holidays, just playing football. I played at quite a high level. Trained there a little bit and played semi-professional.
Was there a time where you thought you wanted to do that?
I always wanted to do it. I never really got fit. My love of food probably got in the way, I think. Yeah. I was a centre midfielder. I played against like Ashley Cole and Joe Cole.
Oh, really?
Like so I played at quite a high level, but I was obsessed with it, I think. But I'm Jewish, and there's a real obsession with food that we've got. That there aren't many good Jewish footballers, I don't think, and I think that's probably why we're just preoccupied with food. I think. Possibly, I don't know. It's Finsbury Park. We used to go to Finsbury Park. And
I say we try and whack on this. Do you want to go on this?
Yeah.
I almost forgot about this. The VR.
Oh, look at this.
You might have to take your
Future,
headphones
mate.
off.
Right. I'm excited about this. Wow.
So if you go like this,
what am I doing?
I'm gonna swipe my finger down, and then it will allow you to the voice activation. So when you see the little microphone, if you say Finsbury Park, then we can go to Finsbury Park.
Okay. Finsbury Park.
Did it help? Oh, there you go. So I think we're a bit further down the road now, right?
Okay. How do I go for?
So you can get your hand up here again.
Okay.
So if you go,
Go.
you see that little blue dot?
Yeah.
If you just click,
Yeah.
you just press that.
Oh.
Oh no, hang on.
No. Oh no.
Again, this is so slick.
Okay, where am I going?
So if you you want to close that box,
Finsbury Park. All the tech geeks are looking at us, just laughing right now. I don't know what he's doing.
so if you go, there you go.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So then you just click.
Why has it done that?
But don't bring that up.
Go away. Go away.
So now, and while Joe's doing
Finsbury
this,
Park.
comment on the video below and tell us,
Oh, it's a Tufnell Park Tavern.
is the VR, is it a highly innovative addition to the show, or is it just confusing?
Wow, it's a Tufnell Park Tavern. This is where all my mates go to drink. This has gone through some changes. Daryl Martin used to run a gig here.
Yeah?
It's never worked running gigs here.
What, in virtual reality?
In virtual reality, yeah.
That was before he even
That's a great
existed.
idea.
That's why he never turned up.
Virtual reality gigs. Yeah, a lot of my friends live on this road still.
What's it like? Have you tried VR before?
No. It is. It's so weird.
It's quite weird, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, my school's up there. It's that way. This is not how you're supposed to be using it, is it? How do I turn around? This is weird.
You're just looking at the ground now.
Can't see my body. It's so weird. Mate. How do I go back? Can I just flick? Can I just go back that way? Can you not?
I'm just whacking you in the,
Oh, sorry, mate. Can I go behind
head with it.
No. What am I doing? Oh, I've gone down the road. No, have I? No, in Finsbury Park. Finsbury Park. Finsbury Park.
You have to do this.
Okay.
Hang on.
Finsbury Park. Here we go. Yeah.
There
We're
we go.
back. Go that
Back in
way.
the park.
Go that way. Go that
forward.
way.
We should get a little joystick next time, Colin. Then I
Oh,
can-
where are we going?
Then I can make it go.
Yes. Oh, I remember that place, the bingo place. It's. I mean, it keeps changing. That one, changing hands. It's a help centre now. Terrible traffic on this road all the time. Yeah, I don't know what that is. A scaffolding guy. Yeah, it's Arsenal World of Sport. I'd always go in there. Just that's up that way. Getting the latest Arsenal top. On the back, Fear the Tree. Okay. Seven Sisters Road. Yeah, it's quite a scary road, this road.
When you jump, let's jump out that and then we'll click on
Okay. Do I take off?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, like in the
Cool,
real
man.
world.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Right, cool.
I was quite scared.
So back on the road. That was
Lost-
our little
lost my body.
tech interlude. So
Finsbury Park, yeah, I lost a lot of plastic
Yeah.
footballs in that park to dogs. Yeah.
how do you think like growing up in London's sort of shaped you as a person?
It's weird when I talk to other people who've lived outside of London. It's interesting because I used to get scared walking to school every day, and they're like, "That's weird," and it is when you think about it. Like it's quite a scary. It was quite scary going to school in inner London.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the school I went to. It was really mixed, and it's important, I think, to be exposed to a range of people. But yeah, I was shit scared a lot growing up. I remember this kid started a fight on me. I didn't know about fighting talk, and he was like, "Who do you know?" I sort of remember doing this bit of material. This guy going, "Who do you know?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?
Like, who's
What does
your-
that
like,
mean?"
who's your backup?
Yeah, but I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
Just sort of naming people I know.
Mum, Dad.
Mummy, Daddy, Uncle Nigel. But I think he meant like, do you know hard people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to know who he was dealing with.
Yeah.
Do you ever get
So
in
weird.
any fights?
That was the only time. And I let him hit me. And he's quite a scary dude. I don't even want to say his name. He's probably not around anymore.
Who does he know?
He knows people.
He knows everyone.
There's a nice Finsbury's around there. That gig. That's how we look at. I think that's how I look at the country now. Just going, oh, there's a gig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go. They run a show in there, don't they?
yeah. I like that gig.
Bare Funny.
Bare funny, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of gigs around here. Yeah, so I've got sort of mixed memories about this area. I'm fond of it because it's Arsenal, but it's quite a sad time. It reminds me of my parents breaking up.
Yeah, that's so. No matter what, my parents got divorced like later in life, and it's not fun.
No, But that's why we do comedy, probably.
Yeah.
Recognise me, Dad. Acknowledge me.
Give me some sweets.
Yeah, give me some sweets.
Pay me in sweets.
Love a drive-through.
Yeah.
I love a drive-through.
Should we drive through?
Can you drive through? You can't drive
No,
through.
you can't actually. That would be cool if you did that.
Oh man, you'd think whoever's driving this van would have gone through a
maybe if they
drive-through.
get hungry at some point, you can have a little
How far
visit.
You can go.
So where's the next one to look at?
Crawford Street. Yeah.
Crawford Street. What happened here?
My dad married a rich woman who lived in. Her mum had a pottery shop on Crawford Street. I mean, again, it was at a time when, houses were like £1,000. So I'm sure it was all very cheap. But
So where is this?
now,
This is near Baker Street, right?
Yeah, so it's just off Baker Street.
Yeah.
It's Crawford Street. George Best had a pub, Besties, at the end. So they had a pottery shop, and above the pot, my dad lived above the pottery shop.
Yeah.
And the shop now is called House of Knowledge. It's now a bookshop.
Oh yeah. It's back down this way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never meet anyone who lives in these areas.
Yeah. Well, they live there. I'd go there twice a week for more sweets. It's not painting me in the best light, this.
You're just a
spoiled
sweet fiend.
Spoilt fat kid from London. Well, I would work out as well. 23. I think 23 Crawford Street.
Is it further down this way?
It's weird. I mean, back then you could drive into London and park in London, so it was a very different time back then.
And all this was fields, right?
All this was fields, yeah. Just one shop. 23, and my mum would drive me here for an awkward exchange with my dad, and then we'd stay there. And my dad had quite a good job. He was a film censor.
All right.
He, on films he put like PG-12.
Oh, he'd give them the
He was the principal,
certificates,
principal examiner. So he'd have to watch basically every film that had to come out in the UK.
Really?
And he told me, I
Wow.
think it's 97% of it was porn. So he would just literally...
Why do you have to put a certificate on that?
I know, exactly.
It's not going to be like,
I was
that
like-
one, oh, surprise, that was a PG.
And my dad would be like, no, I have to look through all of it just to check.
You sure that's why this wasn't just an elaborate cover story?
That's what, that's
I've
what he
got to
told
watch
me.
it.
That's what he told me.
That is genuinely surprising.
Yeah, it's
why
a
would they
weird-
have to watch it if it's porn? It's like
Yeah, it's
there's
a
only
good
going to be
point.
one certificate that's going to get.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe there's mild porn. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just cuddling. I don't know.
It's
Just
bizarre.
kissing porn. No, it's all...
So you had to watch every film that. Yeah, it's interesting because when you said that, I was like, wow, what a cool job! You just know about cinema. But
Yeah.
then, as well as that, you just know all.
It was cool having a dad doing that job because he gave me a black card for the cinema. And when you're like a teenager and you walk in with like a cinema black card,
What is that? Just free.
just
films
free
for-
films,
yeah.
and if you're on a date and you're just like, there's my card.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember they'd go, oh, sir, of course, like come through. They'd never seen it before.
Yeah. That
It's
sounds so
like the
cool.
Nando's.
A black card.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's like the Nando's black card.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I looked cool on dates.
Yeah.
Until I acted like an idiot on the date. But for a moment I'd look pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow,
And
that's
he'd
cool.
take me to his work, and occasionally they wouldn't know whether something was like a PG or 12. And to test out, they take. When I was like 11, and if I was like emotionally scarred for life, then that would be a 12. Pretty much.
How did they tell that?
Pretty much. If I was like screaming and crying and shaking.
That's the way they should do it. Just test it on kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Wow,
So,
man.
yeah, it's Crawford Street.
So let's look at. I think this is your final stop, which is
Yeah.
Stanhope Road. What happens on this?
So I came back to London and then lived with my mum for a bit, and then that's always a tough time after university, and you live with
Oh yeah,
and you just it's
yeah. When you
horrible,
got all
isn't
these
it?
big ideas of like what you're going to do, and then like the
Yeah.
reality hits you.
I'm going to work, mum, and then just coming back, and you still regress. You go back, don't you? You know, it's
Oh,
hard.
definitely.
So yeah, I'd lived with a few comics actually.
In the house down there.
Yeah. So who lived there? Eric Lampere lived there. Luke McQueen.
What, with your mum?
No, this is not with my mum. This is when after I moved out.
All right.
This is the flat on the corner, just a little bit higher up. I managed to get a 2-bed flat. Just down to back there.
Yeah, I think we keep going past it.
Yeah. And ground floor.
Oh, this one, yeah.
And it was all right. Yeah.
So what was that like living in that comics house?
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's good. You've lived with comics. Have you lived with comics?
I've never lived with comics, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's good. It's nice. I mean, I'm lucky that there were comics that don't talk about comedy all the time. That don't obsess. Yeah. They're not sort of doing the same gigs that you're doing. I imagine it sometimes can get quite competitive. You know, who books that gig? You know, how was the gig?
Yeah,
I lived with a range of people actually. I mean, people kept moving in and out. I lived with a nurse. That's hard living with a nurse because they do like a proper job.
Yeah, and you can't complain about your hard gig.
You'd be like, I died on stage. She's like, well, someone actually died.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was it like? It's a notorious area for comics. This area for some reason.
Is it?
I don't know why. Yeah, a lot of comics live in Crouch End.
Not popular, notorious.
Just notorious. I mean, popular. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. There's a comedian's house there where lots of comics have lived, and it just seems to be the place. Suicide Bridge, not the best name for a bridge. Nice view.
That's why it's popular with comics, right?
There's a better view the other side. I would always say to my wife, look over, and she'd always look over the other side.
I accidentally showed everyone behind the magician's curtain. Right. Down this side,
yeah, lovely view across London.
Yeah, there's a beautiful view. Do you think you could ever live outside of London? Hang on, Colin's putting his hand up.
I think it's okay now. I think your background is frozen a bit. I think it's fine now, though.
Oh, yeah. It was I kind of accidentally dragged it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as a result, it's running slow. But yeah, you basically commit suicide by jumping off Google Earth on Suicide Bridge.
Just onto the desktop. Yeah, do you think you could move away from London?
Well, I'm Cockfosters now, and that's sort of a compromise. I'd like to. I would like to. It's just gigs. Gigs are there. You know, work is there. I feel like I've always got to be there or thereabouts. I'd like to. I often do gigs. You know, you often do gigs outside of London in nice places. You're like, oh, I could live here. So maybe when you got a kid, it sort of changes it. And when I couldn't afford to live in central London, anywhere near where my parents lived.
Yeah.
So that sort of makes the decision for me, I think. I don't think anyone of our generation, well, not many, could sort of do that. But yeah, I do love London. I'm very proud to have grown up there. It's very multicultural and interesting characters and interesting people, and I don't know. I always I'd love to live in America, but love Highgate. I love Highgate. Yeah, my granddad just lived off here, and I always dreamed of living in Highgate. He got a CBE for being an architect.
Really?
Architect, yeah. Not for being an architect, for being a very good architect.
Yeah.
He lived left down there.
He designed anything we would know.
Yeah, he was town planner for Milton Keynes, which is not as. I mean, yeah.
It's a big deal though in a town planning sense.
Barbican, he was one of the designers involved in the Barbican. Yeah.
Really?
That's
awesome.
A town planner for Prague. Yeah, he was a bit of a hot shot.
What was his name?
Walter Bohr.
Walter Bohr. Wow.
Yeah, he's absolute legend. Yeah, right.
That's
he used
really
to live
cool.
on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's that? Your dad's dad?
Dad's dad. He amazing life. He escaped the Holocaust and came over here and done pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to write an Edinburgh show on it at the moment about his life, but because it's fascinating. I mean, I've tried. You write about yourself when you do comedy, and then you realise, someone else's life is a lot more interesting. So I'm yeah, trying to write about him. Obviously, it's hard writing comedy about Holocaust, but more about his achievements and his journey. And, and he ended up.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's not going to let us go down there.
Cool journey.
All right, man. So I think that's pretty much it. One way we like to end it is if we go back to, and I said this is the first place, isn't it? So if you saw the young Joe Ball, 7, 8 years old, walking around the street, what advice would you give him?
What advice would I give him?
Yeah. If you could like time travel back in time.
It's interesting, man. I'm in a place at the moment. I had the worst gig of my life the other day. It was a really important gig, high stakes gig, and it was a TV thing, and it was horrendous. So I'm in a weird place at the moment. So I'm in kind of I don't know, just a strange place emotionally. So that's so sorry.
That's
if
what
I
you'd
haven't been,
say to him.
I'd say to him, don't do that. Don't do that gig. When you get asked to do that gig, I'd say be careful who you listen to. What would I say? Don't take things too seriously. God, yeah. Be nice. And yeah. I don't know. That's a really tough question, actually. What would you?
We like to stump people right at the end there. So just be nice.
What does that say?
Solidarity space. What's Colin laughing over there?
Just the name Solidarity Space.
Solidarity space. Yeah, was that a cafe?
I don't know.
Weird, man. All right.
Yeah, I feel like I leave with some sort of wisdom. Go with your heart.
Go with your heart. Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your bliss, man.
It's weird. Recently I've been going back to making a lot more films, and that's what I did at university. I think that's kind of what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Ignore your ego as well, because your ego can be your greatest enemy.
And deciding what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I've been taken over a bit by the old ego.
Yeah.
Distracted a little bit, and rather than sort of making and doing what I feel passionate about. So go with what you feel passionate about. I think is probably the best advice. Yeah.
And be nice while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I hope that helps.
I think that's it, man. Any final thoughts from over there, Colin?
Has it been too sad, Colin?
Colin's crying.
Quiet.
This is so self-indulgent, I feel.
It's been very quiet over here.
Very quiet, all right. Inside.
I should have done more jokes.
All right. So that's it. That's the show, guys. Thanks for coming on the show, Joe.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Zoom out into the sky. I've been Dave Green. This has been Dave Green's Street View Show. Make sure you subscribe. Different comics every week, looking at different places all around the world.
It's a cool show, man.
Good night.
Good fun.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, man.